Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines. Voters in New Jersey and Virginia will choose their next governors today, in a pair of races that will serve as an early gauge of the American electorate's response to President Donald Trump's norm-shattering 9 months in office. Meanwhile, in New York City's mayoral race, Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani, a 34-year-old Democratic socialist, faces 67-year-old former Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo, who is running as an independent. The campaign has laid bare the Democratic Party's generational and ideological divides as it seeks to rehabilitate its damaged brand. US President Donald Trump has endorsed former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo for mayor of New York City and threatened to hold back federal funds to the city if Democratic candidate Zohran Mamdani wins the mayoral election on Tuesday. Trump has injected himself further into the race by crossing party lines to support Cuomo over Mamdani, and the Republican candidate Curtis Sliwa, who trails badly in public opinion polls in the heavily Democratic city. On the other hand, the US government shutdown has hit a record 35 days, matching the longest in American history. Federal workers, soldiers, and millions relying on food aid are going unpaid, while Congress remains in deadlock. Economists warn the shutdown could cost the US economy over $11 billion if it continues another week. Dick Cheney, a driving force behind the US invasion of Iraq in 2003, who was considered by presidential historians as one of the most powerful vice presidents in US history, has died at age 84. Cheney died on Monday night from complications of pneumonia and cardiac and vascular disease. The Republican was already a major Washington player when then Texas Governor George W. Bush chose him to be his running mate in the 2000 presidential race that Bush went on to win. Residents of northern Afghanistan have begun a cleanup operation after a powerful 6.3 magnitude earthquake left at least 27 dead and almost 1,000 injured. The quake struck near the northern Afghan city of Mazar-e-Sharif early on Monday, killing at least 27 people and damaging the city's historic Blue Mosque, authorities said, though the sparsely populated epicenter meant the death toll was lower than initially feared. Some 956 people have been injured, according to the latest figures from Afghanistan's Ministry of Public Health. Authorities in Mexico's Pacific Sinaloa state have been attacked by an armed group, with the incident leaving 13 of the attackers dead. The security minister said 4 people have been detained and that authorities freed 9 people who had been kidnapped. The state has faced a wave of violence in the past year between factions of the Sinaloa cartel, and as authorities try to wrest back control of the area. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has visited troops near Dobropilya in eastern Ukraine and awarded soldiers at a frontline command post as fighting continues north of Pokrovsk. Zelensky said the visit focused on weapons, drone production, and the needs of brigades, including the Azov unit of Ukraine's National Guard. Separately, he said in a social media post that the European Commission's latest report shows Kyiv is confidently moving toward EU membership. China's President Xi Jinping seeks to expand mutual investment with Russia and affirms Beijing's commitment to advance ties despite turbulent external conditions. Xi met the Russian Prime Minister in Beijing at the Great Hall of the People, a day after Chinese Premier Li Qiang held a meeting with Mishustin in Hangzhou, where Li said China wanted to strengthen cooperation with Russia and defend shared security interests. The Kremlin has highlighted the significance of Mishustin's visit at a time when Russia is under major Western sanctions over its war in Ukraine and looking to stem a recent slowdown in trade with China. Australia's Defence Minister says the country's Defence Force operations to protect its sea trade routes, including through the South China Sea, are becoming more risky as Beijing undertakes the biggest military build-up in the world today. Richard Marles said in an opening speech at a Navy conference, open sea lanes, including trade routes that go through the South China Sea and East China Sea, are at the core of Australia's national interest. And former footballer David Beckham has been knighted by King Charles at Windsor Castle for his services to sport and charity. The 50-year-old former England captain received the honour more than 2 decades after his first royal recognition. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.